Now let's move forward.
Yeah.
Hagar came back. Everything is okay. She gave birth to Ishmael.
Yes.
Now Ishmael is in.
Yeah.
He's been named. The family is happy. I asked this question earlier. For the second time, why did Hagar not stop? For her to now be driven away again.
The thing is that after she gave birth to Ishmael, she already heard what the angel said.
Oh.
Okay, she already had a vision where everything about what he said was Ishmael was going to be inheriting a portion of Abraham's gift. Okay, so that made her cause more arrogant. She became more arrogant.
So did the angel rather do more harm?
No, the angel didn't do. The angel just reflected what Hagar wanted to see. That is why Hagar said that now I found someone who understands me,
right,
and I understand the person.
Right.
You see. So it's like when you are seeing chaos and you are replying with chaos, chaos understands chaos. Okay. So when it comes to that, angels has nothing. I already told you people, it's just reflecting exactly what is inside of yourself that you need. Okay. So Hagar understood this. And she definitely knows that as long as I have my son, there's no way I'll ever be counted out of this family.
Right.
It doesn't mind where you go. It doesn't mind how far things go. I will definitely be in the life of this family. And the way in which I will not be of peace. Because it was said that my son is going to get up and be the father of a nation. A nation is one. And yet the angel said he's going to make him sprout many from that particular nation. So when I ask you how many type of pale-skinned people do you have in this world, you have no idea.
Wow.
And right now, they are the ones tearing each other apart. You see?
Right.
When you refuse to align yourself to the descendants of Abraham, when you refuse to learn the ways through which that allows you to find balance, chaos reigns. Just like the way they told you that the entirety of his descendant will hate him, and he will hate the entirety of his descendant, and there's going to be chaos everywhere he goes, and everywhere he goes, there's going to be a fight.
Right.
That is a reflected form of what Hagar is. If Hagar could allow himself to be calm enough to understand that you are a servant, okay, and when I talk about a servant, it isn't something that is more of a dominant in nature, because you understand,
right?
The first form of people in this world are the etheric forms. So if you have a heart that is big, your skin darkens. That is a fact. It doesn't mind if you are a white person or if you're a black person or a green person. The soul determines the level of melanin that flows inside of the body.
Right.
So your skin color doesn't just give you the authority for you to represent Abraham in this particular dimension. So you have to understand.
Right.
Ishmael had a choice, but he was a child. Hagar was the adult that had the sense, but she couldn't make the right choice.
Right.
You see?
Right.
Nothing is set in stone. Nothing is set in stone. God tells you that you will reign for this time, you will reign for that time. You can reign even more if you know how to do things.
If you know how to connect more with things.
If you know how to connect more with things.
But Baba, there's another covenant a lot of people are not talking about.
Okay.
After promising Abraham that he'll make him father of all nations, there is another covenant, which is the covenant of circumcision.
Okay.
And funny enough, Ishmael was the first to have undergone through that circumcision. And so I will quickly just read two verses from the Bible. Okay. Genesis 17, verses 12 and 13.
Okay.
It says, for the generations to come, every male among you who is 8 days old must be circumcised, including those born in your household or bought with money from a foreigner. Those who are not your offspring, all must be circumcised. And the 13 says, whether born in your household or brought with your money, they must be circumcised. My covenant in your flesh is to be an everlasting covenant. 14. Any uncircumcised male who has not been circumcised in the flesh will be cut off from his people. He has broken my covenant. Now, this is something most people don't talk about.
Okay.
Does it mean that even if you are able to connect, and it is talking about only males, does it mean that even if you are able to establish that covenant by connecting deeply with the Creator and you are still not circumcised, does it mean that you are not part of the covenant?
The thing with the circumcision is pretty much very simple.
Okay.
Okay. When you are someone that hasn't been circumcised, okay, the rate to which you perceive sex is different from someone who is circumcised.
Oh,
You understand?
right.
And one thing that made the Egyptians to be afraid of the 9 etheric people or the black people is the fact that you give birth like pigs. Okay? You multiply in numbers. You increase faster than anything inside of this world. One black woman can give birth to 10 to 12 to 15 children. I've seen my grandmother do it.
Right.
Okay. So this amount of rate of giving birth, the God was going to ensure that no matter the amount of punishment that was bestowed upon the generation of Abraham, there's still going to be newborns to come until the perceived time which the covenant was going to be filled, the promise was going to be filled, there will still be descendants of Israel.
Right. It makes sense now. What Baba is trying to say is that because God has promised Abraham he will be father of all nations, he needed them to reproduce quickly so that they can spread across.
Yes.
But unfortunately, if you are not circumcised, your rate of birth is quite slow.
Yes.
And so the circumcision is the physical representation of the covenant God also established with Abraham.
Yes.
So anybody who goes through it was sure or was assured of reproducing quickly.
So that is it. I'll make you the father of many nations. Is the father of replicating. Like you could keep coming and keep going. There's going to be many of you that are still connected to the same source.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
That was what the circumcision is about.
Okay, so a mother who is in Europe, who is in the US, who is not familiar with circumcision, would you still advise that yes, it is something they must go through?
Oh, definitely. The thing is that circumcision allows men to come very easily. Okay. When you are having sex as a man that you are circumcised, it is very easy for you to come than the one that is not. Okay. So if you are a mother, I would definitely advise, if not for even giving birth, the kind of ways of attracting bacteria, because if you urinate with a circumcised penis, it's very easy to shake off the excess urine that comes. But when it comes with the skin, if the skin is still there, the skin is hard. Okay, the first layer form of the skin is very hard. So when it comes to that, it can cause a lot of infection, not just to you, but the baby.
Right.
Okay, and it also causes a lot of discomfort. Okay, if you have a straight up way pillar, it has a way of causing certain discomfort within as a male.
Right.
You understand? And 90% of the females, they also see it as being like, it looks like a worm. You see, so they find it very difficult to copulate with this male, although it makes them last longer.
Right.
People that have the skin on, they last lasting longer in intercourses than the ones that have been stripped off. You see, the ones that have been circumcised, because the circumcision is about giving birth, multiplying, come early. You just do 1, 2, and then another baby is born. 1, 2, another baby is born. So this world, if you look at most people that exist in our lives today, okay, they don't have money, they can't take care of the children, and yet they keep multiplying. You see, so God said, come and then produce and then fill the world.
But there's something interesting. I now understand what Baba is saying, and I believe you also understand it. Please, as you are watching the video, try and like and share. Baba, Abraham got Isaac after his circumcision, and that is 1. 2, he was circumcised at the age of 99. Isaac came at the age of 100. Ishmael was circumcised at age 13. And when his mother was asked to leave for the second time, that was it. We heard about Ishmael. Now, I want us to look at Hagar leaving the second time. But just to touch a little more on the circumcision, does that mean that as part of God's true original plan, because Ishmael was an uncircumcised, his birth was done through uncircumcision, and the Isaac was done through proper circumcision before, Abraham and Sarah had him. Does that mean that there's any form of significance as part of the covenant to this?
No, the fact of the matter with the covenant is that everything exists inside of this world. God uses the same thing to manifest for you. Okay. What that simply means is that every single one of you inside of this world has something you call hope. Okay, a hope for a better day, a hope that tomorrow is going to get better,
Right.
a hope that things will definitely start sliding this way and that way. And that form of hope is what the spirit talks. Is that it's the way of your soul speaking for a particular way to see the light,
Right.
that will manifest the hope that they are seeking. You understand? That is like you calling out to God to intervene unconsciously. You surrendering through faith. So when it comes to this particular way, it's like God uses and understands that from the lineage of Abraham, there's going to come numerous children. Okay? It
Right.
wasn't just Ishmael and then Isaac. Okay? They came, Abraham had a lot of children with different concubines. Okay, but these two dominant energies were the ones that had potential of being able to represent that hope that people were looking for.
Right.
People that will be able to lead others onto the light, because it's not everybody that sees the light. It's always one person that is able to see, and then everyone else begins to look. When you learn, then you begin to see.
Right.
You see? So that was the representation of what the circumcision is about.
Okay.
You see?
Okay. I believe that our viewers also understand it. Baba, now let's touch on the second, being sent away for the second time. I'll read from Genesis 21. Genesis chapter 21, verse 8 downwards. It says that the child grew. She's talking about Ishmael. This was a year after Sarah had also given birth. Okay. So Ishmael was now 14. The child grew and was weaned. And on the day Isaac was weaned, Abraham held a great feast. But Sarah saw that the son whom Hagar, the Egyptian, had borne to Abraham was mocking. 10. And she said to Abraham, "Get rid of the slave woman and her son, for the woman's son will never share in the inheritance with my son Isaac."
You see?
11. The matter distresses Abraham greatly because it concerned his son. This was why we read again. Okay, we read earlier on. But God said to him, "Do not be so distressed, because the boy and your slave woman, because of the boy and your slave woman, listen to whatever Sarah tells you, because it is through Isaac that your offspring will be reckoned."
You understand? He understands that everything that you are doing isn't that it is the gift that was bestowed upon Ishmael is going to be taken away by anybody.
Right.
But the way in which Ishmael is living his life, if you are looking at it and somebody is wearing a shirt and decided to put fire onto the shirt, you definitely know that sooner or later the fire is going to get to the skin.
Right.
Okay. By way of observing, it knows. And the way to prevent the fire from consuming you, you have to ask for help from Abraham, from the lineage of Isaac. You see?
Right.
And out of that, they will tell you that when it came to Sarah, Sarah was like, "You are not going to share part in
the inheritance
of what is supposed to be for my son." That is a misconception. Okay, that is a misquote. Because you understand that the inheritance doesn't come from Abraham himself, it comes from God. Sarah understood this. Sarah hears the whispers of the spirit. Sarah was the stable one. So for you to say that you are not part of the husband inheritance, is that the husband is what is giving it physical representation about Abraham and his cattle, taking care of the herds. That is what Ishmael was talking about, or Sarah was talking about. No, it wasn't about the physical representation of things. Okay, you can't take something that God has already given. It doesn't matter what you do. Okay.
Right.
So it's not like everyone you are trying to paint Sarah to be a saint. No, that doesn't happen. Every woman, no matter how kind-hearted as she is, if she's pushed to a certain particular corner, she pushes back.
Right.
To be like, I was here first. You definitely came and met me here, and I deserve the respect. Okay?
Right.
And to an extent, you were even working for me. So that particular way of thinking things to understanding yourself will definitely let you understand that no, this isn't what is going to happen. I'm not going to give you the chance to come in here and then to destroy my family. You see, instead that you need to leave. You
so
have
that
to go.
there's peace in my home.
There's peace in my home. If it happens to be Ishmael, Ishmael could have left. Okay, you could have leave Ishmael and then gone.
Baba, let's look at, you see, when you read downwards, okay, Genesis 21, verse 14, the first time Hagar left without preparing properly. But the second time, listen to what the Bible says.
Okay.
Early the next morning, Abraham took some food and a skin of water and gave them to Hagar. He set them on her shoulders and then sent her off with the boy. She went on her way and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. 15. When the water in the skin was gone, she put the boy under one of the bushes.
Okay.
Then she went off and sat down about a bow shot away.
Yeah.
For she thought, I cannot watch the boy die. And she sat there, she began to sob.
Okay, let me explain that.
Okay.
When it comes to you preparing, I already told you that it's like you enter into a particular house to steal something. You are in a hurry to make sure that person doesn't return back home to catch you red-handed. Okay.
Right.
So it was Hagar that was being sent away. No parent, I'm telling you that no parent will chase the mother out of their house and then decide to send the child away with the mother simply because of the bad attitude of the mother. You are chasing the son away. Abraham was happy that Ishmael was born. He gave gratification, he did sacrifice, he named him the right way to which God told him to. You understand?
Right.
There is nobody that would discuss their son in that particular manner.
So does that mean that within Abraham's heart, or should we say that there's something wrong with the story?
There's something wrong with the story is the dust that is being plugged over it. Making you not understand or making you look at Abraham and then Isaac, or looking at Isaac and then Ishmael to be two different things. You understand?
Right.
That is the misconception. The fact of the matter always has to be stated. Okay.
So you are stating it clear or emphatically that Abraham, there's no way, even after God speaking to Abraham, let her go. There's
let
no
her
way.
go. Yes.
There's
you are
no
letting her go. You are not letting your son go. Your son wasn't with the one with the change in attitude. Your son wasn't the rebellious one. He was taken after what his mother is being taught to him. Do you understand?
Right.
Yes. Modern day, even right now, when you have a son with another woman and the woman begins to play in any way possible, you let her go.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You send the woman back to her father's house. But when it comes to your child, he stays with you.
Right.
And that is like a way, like you always say, we are separated or we are divorced, but we still have a son. We still owe that son a particular responsibility. Both the mother and the father still have a share in the child's life. You understand?
Right.
So Abraham got separated from Hagar. You need to learn some lessons. You need to start seeking your own self. You need to journey on your own way to find yourself. Because I did that. I found myself. I understood myself.
The same way I was sent from my
The same way
father's
I
home.
was sent out, you also need to go. You need to find your own way. You need to know your own path. You need to understand your own self.
So this, if you look at it from the angle Baba is speaking, it means that Abraham did really nothing wrong. He was just trying to extend the same courtesy God gave to him to Hagar.
If you are someone that teaches somebody, okay, if you're a teacher that teaches a student, you definitely know that there are some students inside of the class that will never listen to whatever it is that you are saying. And there are others too that they are listening and they want to learn and grow. So between these two students, which of them will you give your attention to?
Those who listen.
Yes. Okay. It simply means that the ones that are not listening, you aren't the one to be their teacher.
Right.
It's simple like that.
Right.
So you need to leave. Those ones that aren't learning, they need to leave to find a master that they will listen to. So that was what Hagar happened. That was what happened to Hagar. Hagar's life didn't end. No, her life would begin when she begins to seek her own self. Okay, all this turmoil, all this fight, all this chaos that is embedded inside of her, that she's trying to inflict it on other people, why would it be so? She needed to find herself.
Right. Baba, let's look at something important. I know that you've mentioned this once. Today, I'm going to read it again and tell us exactly what happened between Hagar and Ishmael. This is what the Bible is saying. Genesis chapter 21, verse 16 and 17. Then she went off and sat down about a bow shot away, for she thought, I cannot watch the boy die.
Okay.
And as she sat there, she began to sob.
Okay.
Then 17.
You let me finish the bow away. No?
Okay.
Okay. After she took her things and then to leave, because Abraham told her that she needed to vacate. Okay. She decided to wait. You understand?
Right.
Till Abraham is not around, and then she took Ishmael.
Oh, so that is the actual story.
She took Ishmael and then she ran off. Not understanding that the place in which Abraham found himself, it wasn't a safe zone. Okay?
Right.
Like it was okay, but it wasn't a safe zone. There were still people outside and inside of this world that were still much involved in adultery. Okay, there were still so much people I talk about adultery, I'm talking about idol worshiping.
Right.
There were still pagans that didn't understand what the word of the true word is. Okay, and Hagar was among those people. She is a descendant of those particular people.
Right.
You see, so when she took Ishmael onto the desert, she rushing out of the house in a huddling matter, she couldn't prepare enough for both of them.
Oh.
Okay, it's like calculating and then ended up not miscalculating. You see, you calculated this way and it ended up being that way. So once you got into the desert, this guy got very fatigued. Ishmael got very, very fatigued that he couldn't continue the journey. And the mother knew very well that the child is about to die. My son is about to die. So she began to regret, should I have left him with them, or what should I have done? I can't watch him die, so decided to give him a distance. And when you talk about an arrow form of a distance, I want you to pull an arrow backwards and then you shoot and see how far that goes.
Yes, it usually goes far.
You understand? So you can't give you and your son that particular space and still expect to come and see him alive. Continue reading. Okay?
Right.
So you continue reading.
Right. So the 17 said, God heard the boy crying, and the angel of God called to Hagar from heaven and said to her, what is the matter, Hagar? Do not be afraid. God has heard the boy crying as he lies there. Lift the boy up and take him by the hand, for I will make him into a great nation. Then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. So she went and filled the skin with water and gave the boy a drink.
Okay. So when it came to the angel opening Hagar's eyes and showing him where the well is, so he went and filled the skin with water and then drank some and brought some for Ishmael. Okay. The fact of the situation here represents the meaning of what that water represents, what the well is. Because when you talk about a well is a bottomless pit. You understand?
Right.
It's a bottomless pit. Even if you say, oh, we dig up to this point and that is the floor of the well. No. For you to find the floor of the well, you need to find out where the water is coming from.
Right.
That is like infinite. You understand?
Right.
So it's like every time that they mention an angel inside of the Quran or the Bible, 90% of us usually associate it with one thing or the other. Okay, but in this particular sense, the angel that appeared unto Hagar tell Hagar that, okay, the Lord has heard you. He has heard your cries. He has heard the boy's cry. And now he's here to set both of you free. Fill the water and then take it to the boy. The fact of the matter is Ishmael was buried. Ishmael died.
Really?
Yes. Ishmael never made it out of that desert.
This is the second time you've said this thing. We want you to take your time and explain it very well for us so that we get the best understanding of what the story really holds.
Okay.
And what has been presented to us.
Let me make it very clear. when it comes to Ishmael and then his mother on the desert, okay, the boy was more fatigued than Hagar was.
Right.
And you understand that between you and then a child, which of you has much energy?
You, the adult.
You, the adult. So why would you leave your son in the wilderness? Why would you leave your son in the wilderness and then you give him a particular stretch long enough that even if the boy cries, you won't be able to hear the sound that is coming from him? No, I want you people to start thinking. Do you understand?
Right.
I want you to start thinking. It's not a particular plain place where it is like, oh, I came from this particular direction, I can follow that direction and then to move back.
No.
It's a particular desert. Okay. And a desert from through which things travel. If you move from this particular place and they tell you to follow exactly the way that you followed and came, you get lost.
By the time you come, the sun would have.
The sun would have covered everything up.
Yeah.
And they definitely told you that he kept Ishmael under a bush. You understand?
Right.
So Ishmael never made it out of that desert. Look, 90% of the time, I need you to understand that when it came to the separation of what you see Ishmael to be, representing Islam and then Christianity, okay? I want you to understand that if that is true, if that is in any way true, then Ishmael would have been what religion should talk about when it comes to what Christ consciousness represents.
Oh.
There wasn't supposed to be anything to do with a reflected form, okay, or an opposite form called the Antichrist inside of this world.
Okay. So, if the child died, why that angel? And who is that angel? And what called this angel forth?
You see, it's like being in a state of mind. Okay. There are certain stages of mind that when you are able to get up to, you become open. Okay. And when you are open to know the way in which information is received and then relayed to you. Hagar, I told you, already studied most of what Abraham studied. You understand?
Right.
He has a way of using these particular energies because she too came from a lineage where they had pagan worship. And I told you what pagan worship is.
Right.
It's about take, give, and then take. Whatever contract is in between, that is the contract that is being fulfilled. Okay. So the angel appearing before this, and I told you, when it comes to them talking about angels, don't always succumb it to be one particular angel that is of light or that is of good. Because everything is light, but light has dark. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So light also has two forms of itself. We have the darker light and we have the lighter light. So when they are always talking about an angel appeared and then showed here the way, okay, it doesn't necessarily make it the fact that the angels were either good or he was bad. But we understood one thing, okay, very, very clearly, that when it comes to Hagar, she knew how to practice the esoteric ways of summoning spirits.
Oh.
Okay. She knew how to call upon spirits.
She had that knowledge from Abraham.
She had the knowledge from Abraham by the way of studying the alignments of how these planetary grids, they work. If you know what the planetaries are, okay, and the rituals that is associated with each of them, there is always a huge amount of energy. It doesn't just happen only on the full moon. It happens on a regular basis.
Right.
Some of them, it happens weekly. Some of them, it happens within months. And some of them once in every year. Okay. If you are able to understand and then to interpret it, that particular day, you can summon anything into this world.
Wow.
You can call onto anything. You can change the destinies of anything. You can turn anything upside down because creation is one thing that is malleable.
So if Hagar summoned the angel, what type of angel did Hagar summon?
Okay. For you to understand what type of angel it is, I'm not going to tell that it's angel this or it's angel that. Okay? But what I can tell you is that you look at the actions of the particular angel or the particular religion that has been portrayed, then you know which angel was summoned. You look at the actions, you look at the actions of people, and then you understand their life.
And that can help you understand the type of angel.
The type of angel or the guidance that was being offered. Okay?
Right.
In the beginning, when the angel came to Hagar, he made it very clear that whatever that is sprouting inside of his womb is going to be turned, okay, against the world, and the world is going to be turned against him.
Yes. He will fight everyone, and
everyone will fight him. That was what he said.
Right.
And now that it's been born, and now that it has accomplished this particular kind of task, which guardian do you think will be the responsible for guarding that?
Oh, obviously.
Abraham tried his best. Okay. Stay and then learn. Learn to feel this way, learn to feel that way. And then in order to understand what you are, she couldn't do that. So she needed a new mentor, someone different from Abraham. Because the particular environment that hurt you, you cannot heal on the same environment. You need to move.
Right.
You see? So freedom was given to Hagar. Go and then find yourself. You are free now. You are no longer entitled to us. You are no longer a slave. You are no longer a servant to us in any way. We are freeing you. Go and then find yourself. To put it plainly, it's very simple like that.
Wow.
And that was when Hagar left and then decided to follow the mentor of the one person that she told, okay, that person understands her. Finally, I have gotten someone who understands me and I understand the person.
Right. Somebody who has recognized me.
Yes.
Someone who can relate to me at my level.
Who can relate to you at your level. So look at the level that Hagar was as compared to her attributes with the family of Abraham. Do you think that such a person will go out and then ends up becoming good in any way?
No. For sure. She would want to come and pay Abraham and his descendants back. And Baba, let me quickly just summarize this in Chi. Sisi baby, I do know here ye pa mesre mo se obetu mo boase na mo ahwe other episodes na ekeka ho a ye de eba no. Na mame mbo de baba kan ne tofa. Sisi aka ma na ba besi se Hagar edi kan call ye na one obofo ye pamo ne free fie no. Odi kan ko hia obofo no ehye ne bo se oh nyame ate ni so iti na nya hwe onsan ko ne kunu fie na obewo abofra no wo ne wie a ye be frɛ no Ishmael na sa abofra no aman nyina obesɔre atia aman nyina na aman nyina nso besɔre atia no ɛna Hagar ɛbaa fie ɔbaa fie kyire ye wo Isaac ɛna wantwi sɛ si fie ɛna Sarah kroya ɛsan ka kyerɛ Abraham sɛ onhia akwa no ne ba no fie Nyankopɔn ɛnam so ka kyerɛ Abraham sɛ ɛnya hwee deɛ ɔyere aka ne tie pamo oyere no ɛne ne ma ne nkɔ ɛhɔ na baba ɛbɛkyerɛ mu sɛ Nyankopɔn ankyerɛ mu saa sɛ ɔmpamo Hagar ɛne ne ba no na mmom no agya bia ni ɔdɔ ne ba kronkronkronkron a ɔbɛpamo ne ba de afiri fie ɛne nti no ɛyɛ Hagar mom ɛna wie abɔfra no de ne firi fie ɔtwɛn ma efie dwo ya ohun sɛ sese de meti akwanya ba mu a metimi afa abɔfra de na dwane ɛna fa abɔfra de ne dwane na ɔmo kɔɔyɛ no esan sɛ wɔamoa ne ho yie nti no ɔmo nsuo kɔsan ɛnam so ɛma Ishmael ewuye na ɔbɔfo no san da ne ho adi baba ɛsɛn kyerɛ mu sɛ ɛyɛ Hagar mom na deɛ ntɔsoɔ na ɛtɔso mpire no ɔde frɛ bɔfo na nyɛ bɔfo ne mom na ɛyɛ den ɛda ne ho adi ɛde kyerɛ no efiri sɛ saa brɛ no Hagar abehu sɛ mi wɔ obi a mi so mi frɛ na ɔbɛgye me so obi a wadi kan ahyɛ me bɔ sɛ ɔtemase obi a medi kan hu sɛ sɛ nipa wei ebetimi ne medi nkɔmɔ abere bia de a ɛne ɛwɔ sɛ mehunu kwan a metimi de afrɛ no na mehia mmoa a ma yɛ den watimi aba abɛboa me nti saa na baba ɛpɛ sɛ ɔma yɛ te aseɛ sɛ asɛm no nkasa yɛ den ɛteɛ na mesre wei nso so no adesua adeɛ bi wɔ adesua adeɛ wɔ mu ɛne sɛ ɛmfa ho ne honhom a ɛbɛda ne ho ade de akyerɛw anaa woda yɛ so a wobɛso ɛfiri sɛ asɛm a yɛka nyinaa na ɛyɛ nipa ho asɛm ne yɛka ho yɛka nso de fa akwantu a ɛwɔ yɛ mu a ɛbɛboa yɛ ama yɛde ahunu yɛ nyame so a ɛte yɛ mu ɛno nti no ɛnyɛ biribiara na wobɛhunu a ɛbɛboa wo it is a war yamwa, a yashe, what's a mwaka, or yamwa, a ya susudjing, no one fret, and what them bonny be, and mawa brabo. Baba,